Hey, thank you, Corey. It was a big night for some high school wrestling, particularly at the Osage Quad between the Green Devils and the Lake Mills Bulldogs. There's the Osage coaching staff getting one of their guys ready for tonight. We start at 160 with Elijah Wagner and Myrick Huffman. And 8th-ranked Wagner muscles his way to a win by tech fall. Then at 170, 6th-ranked Spencer Mooberry from Osage taking on A.J. Carter. And this one didn't take long to decide at all, with Mooberry showing why he's among the state's best with a pin for the win tonight. Then it's Lake Mills' Zach Wagner and Osage's Owen Muller at 182. Wagner gets the takedown, but Muller is able to reverse out of it. But Wagner is just too much, winning by pin. And Lake Mills wins a close one tonight, 35-33. Well, Iowa Wrestle released its inaugural girls wrestling poll today, with several locals making the cut. At 106 pounds, Chloe Kressback from Osage ranks 3rd. Charles City's Marissa Bankston falls in 6th. At 113, Madison Adams of Osage also ranks 6th at 120 pounds. Then Tony Malloy of Charles City is 3rd best at 126, and at 132, Emma Grims ranks 3rd, and Marley Haggerty is 5th. The Iowa women's basketball team pieced together wins against Nebraska and Wisconsin, but tonight they faced a new challenge, the Purdue Boilermakers. Carissa McLaughlin and Purdue hosting Megan Gustafson and the Hawkeyes. We start in the 3rd quarter, where the three is no good, but Gustafson with the putback to start a 9-0 run for the black and gold. Then the dish down the lane to Hannah Stewart to put Iowa up by 6. But the Boilers answer back. Hannah trailer straight to the rack and finishes to knot us up at 52. And McLaughlin switches the 3, and Iowa drops this one tonight, 62-57. And in the NHL, the Minnesota Wild pick up a big win tonight over the Winnipeg Jets with a final of 3-2. Jason Zucker chipped in 2 goals tonight for the Wild with a solo goal by Jordan Greenway. The Wild host the Red Wings on Saturday. Thank you, Zach. Well, after spending all of December on the road, the Nyack basketball teams are finally back at home tonight. The women's squad has won 6 of its last 7 games, averaging nearly 97 points per game. Iowa Central enters tonight's contest with a 9-5 record, and at halftime, Nyack leads this one 45-36. And the North Iowa Area Community College men also play host to the Tritons tonight, looking to make it 10 wins in a row. The Trojans have scored 100 points or more in the last 6 contests, ranking them 14th in the latest NJCAA poll. We'll have all the highlights and more coming up in sports tonight at 10 o'clock. Live in Mason City, Kaleb Gillock, KIMT News 3 Sports. Every Wednesday, we highlight a local student athlete who not only excels on the playing surface, but in the classroom as well. Taking us tonight to Britt, Iowa.
I think her big key for us would be the savvy that she has on the court. She knows what's going on. She knows where the ball is going to be. And so even last year as a freshman, you could kind of see she had the knack of knowing where the ball was going to be at. And I think
that's West Hancock head coach Paul Sonius talking about sophomore guard Rachel Lear, who is helping lead the Eagles in its undefeated season so far.
There's always things to work on. We're not at our best yet, and we're going to be working to get there.
The young hoopster is putting up some impressive numbers so far this season, averaging over 22 points per game. An impressive stat Lear says she is nowhere near content with.
It's always good to be there, but you always want to strive for better. Obviously, there's always someone out there who's going to be better than me, and I work every day in practice to try to get there.
Aside from her sharp shooting on the court, Lear is also pretty sure when it comes to her academics.
It's going really well. Just had our semester tests, and that's super important for us and for our team to keep our grades up, because ultimately you're not going to get where you want to go if you got 4 grades.
With a team comprised of freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, Coach Sonius loves the advantage it gives him for upcoming seasons.
she's not really become our point guard, but she still is our leader right now at this point in time, along with our juniors. And so that's kind of a nice thing to have at this point in time. And it's nice to know I'm going to have her for the next 2 years, yeah.
But for now, the Eagles will continue to soar past opponents 1 game at a time.
It all depends, you know. Each game, every night, that's the first step. So the first step right now is Bishop Garrigan.
If you'd like to nominate a Student Athlete of the Week, go to KIMT.com and click on the link under the Sports tab. While high school teams across the viewing area have the night off before returning to action tomorrow, several local college teams are in action tonight. The Iowa State women's team is about to tip off against Kansas State, and the Northern Iowa men's basketball team is on the road tonight at Bradley. And the Iowa State men's team is on the road in Big 12 play at 8 o'clock tonight. Well, the season might be over for the Minnesota Vikings, but they're already looking ahead to next season. Today, the team announced reserve and future free agent signings for the following: wide receiver Jeff Badette, tackle Adam Bisnowatsky, also linebacker Richard Cleat, defensive tackle Curtis Cothran, then also center Cornelius Edison, tight end Cole Hicatini, quarterback Jalen Myrick, and tackle Storm Norton. Kenny George, it's a busy night for Sports Indeed. Let's go ahead and take a look at our high school coverage plan for the evening. The night starts off with a wrestling quad in Osage that's already underway. Several ranked guys will be competing in this one, with Lake Mills, Eagle Grove, and Rockford all in attendance. On the ice, the 9-2 Mayo Spartans host crosstown rival John Marshall, and on the basketball court, student athlete of the week Anna Miller and Mayo take on Mankato East at 7:30. The Girls Union also released its latest basketball poll today. West Hancock stays high atop Class 1A at second. Osage remains at number 2 in Class 3A, and Clear Lake still resides 4th. Algona continues to be 5th favorite in 3A, and Crestwood moves up 3 spots to 10th. Mason City falls 1 spot to 3rd in Class 4A. Well, last night the Iowa Hawkeyes got back on track with a 73-63 victory over Northwestern on the road. The win marks the team's second Big Ten victory since the conference play began at the end of November. Freshman guard Joe Wieskamp led the Hawkeyes in scoring with a game-high 19 points and says he feels like this will help propel the team into Saturday's home matchup against a top 20 Ohio State team.
This is a big win for us. Looking back at our 2 first Big Ten road games, they weren't pretty, they weren't fun, so we knew we wanted to change that, and we were able to get that done.
Tip-off for Saturday afternoon's game at Carver Hawkeye Arena against the Buckeyes is scheduled for 1:30. Cancer has impacted each and every one of us in some way, shape, or form. And tonight, the Mason City hockey team held its Coaches versus Cancer game. Mason City playing host to Omaha tonight. We start in the first period where Dane Hickey slices this one in for the Lancers for the first goal of the night. And Mason City would respond seconds later. Cade Kloster-Hodak gets this one past the Lancers goalkeeper for the Mohawk goal. But a gritty Omaha squad would get the final say-so as Nick Novak gets the puck through this mess of defenders. Omaha takes the win tonight 2-1. And here's what some of the players had to say about Coaches versus Cancer.
My grandfather actually passed away of cancer about 4 years ago, and I actually scored a goal, and that really felt good for me just because he was sick for a long time, wasn't able to come see me play, and it felt really good to score for him.
Today means a lot to me because my mom had breast cancer, and I don't know how long she's been free of it, but I was fighting for her tonight.
High school basketball returns to Iowa tonight now that winter break has come to an end, and fans across the state will be treated to some great games tonight. Let's take a look at our North Iowa area coverage plan. Undefeated and second-ranked West Hancock girls play host to the 6-3 Golden Bears of Bishop Garrigan. Plus, the Newman boys, who are 7-1, will have home court advantage over the 5-3 St. Ansgar Saints. And Lake Mills is riding a 5-game win streak as it hosts a tough Forest City team with only 2 losses. Now I'll send things over to Zach to tell you about tonight's matchups in southern Minnesota. In Studio 3, Kaleb, Gillock, KIMT News 3 Sports. High school teams across northern Iowa have had winter break off from games, but tonight they were finally able to get out and compete with some other squads. We start the night off with some wrestling action at the West Fork Quad. Carson Rigg from Lake Mills taking on Joseph Ray from Forest City. Ray would get the takedown for the Indians, but Rigg was able to get Ray where he needed him to take the win by pin at 145 pounds. I'm told this was Casey Hansen against Taryn Jobgin, where Hansen got his way in this one, putting all of his force into getting those shoulders down, and he would take the win by pin as well for the Bulldogs in Sheffield tonight. While switching over to basketball, where Nashua Plainfield travels to Central Springs, we pick up the action in the second half, where Mackenzie Lohman drains the 3 from the right wing. Then the Huskies looking to the interior, and Brianna Hackman lays this one in even after the deflection. Next, Emmy Dietrich. She gets the steal and goes coast to coast for the easy bucket. Then the pass to the corner gives Olivia Harms the open look at the 3. And Central Springs goes on to take the win at home tonight, 39-13. And here are some scores from our Minnesota viewing area tonight. On the girls' side, Fillmore Central wins a nail-biter over Southwood 61-54. Plus, the Austin Packers with a huge 70-49 win over Owatonna. And for the boys, Pine Island takes down Wabasha Kellogg 54-41, and John Marshall with a big win over Mankato West 78-48. While the Iowa Hawkeyes travel to Purdue tonight to take on an emotionally fueled Boilermaker team. A moment of silence was observed for Tyler Trent, the young Purdue fan who lost his battle with cancer earlier this week. We started the first half where Eric Hutter Jr. finds Carson Edwards for the Purdue three. He had 21 points tonight, and the Hawkeyes were quick to answer. Isaiah Moss finds Tyler Cook inside the lane for the two-handed slam, but Purdue simply had too much willpower in this one. Stefanovic with the steal to Eastern with the nasty jam. Now Iowa's 0-3 in Big Ten play with tonight's 86-70 loss and hosts 24th ranked Nebraska on Sunday afternoon. In Studio 3, Kaleb Gillock, KIMT News 3 Sports. We highlight a local student athlete of the week, and one West Hancock sophomore is shining bright in the classroom and on the court. Rachel Lear averages 22.3 points per game, ranking her among the state's top scorers. But Lear says she doesn't have an ego about it. In fact, she works even harder because she knows there's always somebody out there that is better than her.
It's always good to be there, but you always want to strive for better. Obviously, there's always someone out there who's going to be better than me, and I work every day in practice to try to get there.
Don't forget you can nominate a Student Athlete of the Week by going to KIMT.com, clicking on the Sports tab, and select Student Athlete of the Week under that. Well, in college basketball, the 25th ranked Iowa State women return to Hilton Coliseum tonight, looking to make it 5 wins in a row. There's Coach Fiddley strategizing with his squad before tonight's game, and K-State got off to a strong start. Left corner to Peyton Williams, who knocks down the mid-range jumper. Then Ashley Jones deep in the quarter for the three as she goes for 14 points tonight. Next, it's Bridget Carlton, wide open from top of the key, and the Cyclones stay hot from three. Carlton drops a game-high 26 points in this contest as Iowa State takes the win tonight 96-58. And here's a look at some of tonight's other college basketball scores from the men's side. The Northern Iowa Panthers open up Missouri Valley Conference play with a 65-47 win over a tough Bradley Braves team. Trey Burhow and Isaiah Brown combined for 28 points for the Panthers. Meanwhile, the Iowa State Cyclones take its first Big 12 win over Oklahoma State 69-63. Mariel Shayok and Lindell Wigginton led the Cyclones in scoring tonight with 17 points each. Last week, Minnesota Twins fans learned that they received a late Christmas present as the organization had reached a deal with Nelson Cruz. Today, the 38-year-old right fielder designated hitter made the deal official, signing his $14.3 million one-year contract. That deal also comes with a $12 million club option for the 2020 season. And in the professional basketball world, the Minnesota Timberwolves travel to Beantown tonight to take on the Celtics. With tonight's 115-102 loss, the Timberwolves have now lost back-to-back games. Andrew Wiggins led the T-Wolves in scoring tonight with 31 points, while Karl Anthony Towns pulled a double-double with 28 points and 12 rebounds.